What's poppin', Diva gang? Today I'm going to show you how to create these delicious chocolate swirl nails with the marble effect using just gel polish. This is a technique that I got from The Glamorous Nails here on YouTube. She used her products a little bit more differently than I did, but it's relatively the same technique. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you how I did that. I'm also going to be doing sort of a review. Not really. This video isn't sponsored, but I'm using these. I don't think they're new, but it's new to me. It's the Model One's Nude Polish collection. I'll show it to you a little bit later in the video. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So I just went in with my primer and now I'm applying a thin coat of base coat as I usually do, because I don't like to buff the nails and this just saves time and energy. And these are the nude gel polishes. As you can see, you get a large array of a bunch of different nude gel polishes, and I was just trying to show you guys there that I really like them. So today we're going to be going in with our, well, first I'm using the white gel polish and then those two colors. I can't remember what they called. I think it was like brown sugar and maple syrup. So yeah, you can just rewind and see exactly which colors that I went in with for my bases. So the thumb and the pinky are going to be our marble chocolate swirl fingers. So that's what you see me doing at the moment. I wanted to have a white background so that the colors could show up nice and pigmented. So I went in, I did my first design, what I thought I was going to do, but I ended up changing it. Yeah, we'll talk more about that later, but I went in with the medium brown color. I think this is maple syrup. I went in with that color on the pinky and pointer and thumb fingers. And then I went in with is that brown side? I think it's called brown side. I don't know, just rewind and see what it was called. I showed you. But yeah, this is the base of our nails. Doesn't it look like a backwards s'more or something? Super cute. So I just went in with 2 coats of those and cured for 30 seconds. And first I'm going to start working on the marble fingers. So you need a dark brown polish, a light brown polish, a medium or neutral brown, and you also need a red tone brown. And I just showed you all the ones that I used to do this design. Those all came in the kit. And then you're also going to need your white gel polish. And I'm taking this little palette, this little piece of plastic that I use as like my gel polish palette, and I'm just laying out my colors. Try not to use too much when you do this process. It's real easy to waste product. It turns out I actually needed all of my product, but sometimes I do end up making a little too much of this mixture. But yeah, just go ahead and put the colors down. I recommend not to put colors together or too close together that are really close in tone. Like, try to spread them out just so that you can kind of have that array, and so that when you do actually move on to putting it on the nail, they don't kind of blend together and get too muddy, if that makes sense. So yeah, I went in and I made my little pattern or whatever, and then I went over that with some dots of white polish just in between all the colors. No particular order, rhyme, or reason. I just went ahead and dotted it in random places. If I could go back though, I probably would have used a little more white gel polish, but it's fine. And then I also went in between with that darker brown polish just to balance everything out. So now I'm taking my dotting tool and I'm creating these sort of lines in that pattern that I just created. I didn't cure it or anything. I just laid it down on the palette, and I'm not mixing it all together, but I'm making sure that all those colors intersect and touch one another. Be careful when you do this not to mix the colors together, because again, especially since we're using browns, you do not want this to turn muddy. So just get it mixed together enough to where they're all touching. And yeah, I didn't even show you guys like how I ended up with that, but that was like the first design that I came up with that I thought I was gonna have, and I ended up doing the same thing on the pinky. And as you can see, it kind of ended up like wrinkling. And then I tried to fix it with a matte top coat, and then that just wrinkled on top of it. And I just really didn't like how it came out. I was not feeling that at all. So then I tried to file it off, and then I was just like, you know what, screw this. I ended up fixing it later, but I just decided to move on to the next finger at this point. So I went in with maple sugar, and I think that other color was brown side as well. It's the same color that we placed on the middle finger. This is going to be our ombre finger. I've done this technique before on my channel if you've never seen it before, if you're new here. And I'm just creating this ombre nail. I'm gently patting those two colors together on the nail, and then flash curing every few pats or so to get that blend. So I just did that as many times as I felt necessary until I ended up with that right there, and I gave it a final cure for 30 seconds. So now on the ring finger, the star of the show, this is the cabochon finger. I went ahead and placed down a nice big glob of that McCart nail rhinestone glue, my fave. And now I'm taking this chocolate cabochon that I got in like a set. It was like in a set of a bunch of cabochons. But if you just search on Amazon, like chocolate cabochons, chocolate slime charms, you can find tons of stuff like this for pretty cheap too. So I just went on and secured that to the ring finger. And now I'm going in again with my rhinestone glue because I'm going to be doing some subtle cuticle bling on that ombre pointer finger. And yeah, I did something a little different. I used clear stones this time. I never, ever, ever use clear stones. But I don't know, the AB stones, like the more I experiment with different types of nail art, the more that I'm starting to feel like it's okay, to use clear stones. Like there's a time and a place. Sometimes the AB stones can kind of take away from your design, or clash rather, instead of take away. And I just felt like these looked really nice with the brown tones. I feel like they balanced everything out, so I had to have a little gold in there. So I went in with some gold caviar beads between the stones. I just went with one in between every stone, kept it simple. And that's what I ended up with on this finger. So I went ahead and cured that bling glue. And this was what I had at this point. This was before I decided to change my swirl design, but this is just me like thinking about what I had to do, and then I decided they didn't look right. So I went in and I redid my base. I put down 2 coats of white gel polish, and then I put down a layer of base coats. And then I still had some more of my little mixture left, so I went in with that, and we'll show you what I did with that in a second. So I went in with that on a gel brush, okay, and I just picked up like a healthy amount of that mixture, and then I just kind of billowed it over the nail. I allowed it to go wherever it wanted to. This technique works really well if you have like blooming gel, because it helps the polish to spread out. But I don't have blooming gel on hand. I feel like base coat works pretty good too, so I decided to just go ahead and use that. And that's basically it. You just have to have patience, allow the polish to spread on its own. Don't get too caught up really in like what it looks like or what direction it's going in. Just try to make sure you're balancing things out. And yeah, so it's really important to make sure that you wipe down the sides, because you're not going to need all that gel polish. And also, the more polish that you wipe off the sides, the more the polish will continue to spread out and look more like marbleized. Yeah. So yeah, if you want, you can use paper towel to do this, but I just went in with my finger because why not? So yeah, that was pretty much the marble design that I ended up going with. I do this a lot actually. In this past summer, I was like gushing over marble nails. So if you guys want to see more tutorials with maybe different colors, let me know and I can definitely do that. And then I went in with some more white polish just to make it look more like, y'all see like those coffee nails on Instagram or whatever. I kind of you know, I felt like the white would balance it out. So yeah, this is kind of what I was left with at this point. And then I was still trying to figure out what was missing. But then I was like, you know what? These look good. I'm not going to add anything else. So at this point, I decided to just go ahead and top coat the nails. Nothing really too exciting happening here. So I'm going to take this time to ask you all, what would you, if anything, have done differently with these nails? I kept trying to think of something to do with that middle finger. I was like, maybe if I just put a matte top coat over it, that'll help like make the design more complete. Then I was like, maybe if I add a designer element in there, but then I was like, I really don't need that. So yeah, do you think they look fine already? Like, I'm happy with them. I like the way that they came out. Yeah, sometimes I think I just do too much. Y'all know I'm obsessed with Femi Beauty, and there was one video where she said like, yeah, she does too much, but she's never regretted doing too much. And I'm just like, I feel you, but at the same time, I can't relate, because I can think of plenty of times where I've done too much and I was just like, girl, you doing too much. So yeah, I guess I just don't have as much luck as her. But yeah, and that ombre nail came out real nice. I debated just using my airbrush machine to do that, but I figured I have the sponges. I'll just do it manually. And plus, I'm planning on doing another airbrush tutorial like separately anyway. So I was like, I don't want to do that yet. So I cured that for 60 seconds and then proceeded to file the free edge of all the nails. And this is what I was left with. I think they're super cute, super trendy. For somebody that wants to do something more fun but not do too much, I think these are great. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I think they look really delicious too, like coffee / chocolatey swirl nails. Yeah, so yeah, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Mwah.